Good evening, dear friends. Welcome to Newspaper Analysis Townhall. Today is 14th of August, and we will try to discuss these 5 important themes in our town hall today. So these are the learning outcome questions which can help you improve the retention of these topics. You can download this PDF from the first pinned comment. Now let us try to see our first news. So first news is about export promotion plan. So what government is trying to do, government is trying to make some changes in the export promotion plan that it came up in Union Budget 2025-26. So government came up with this export promotion plan in this budget, and now it is trying to do some changes. But the question is why? So as we all know, we have already discussed this in our previous town halls, that USA has imposed 50% tariff on Indian imports in its country. It means that Indian exporters are affected. Now, various MSMEs are also indulged in the export to United States of America. So these MSMEs are going to be impacted. Therefore, government wants to make some changes in its export promotion plan so that it can cover up some losses to these MSMEs. Now, what are the changes that government want to bring? Before we move on to our changes, according to a report by a think tank, GTRI, these are the sectors which are impacted most by US tariff on India. Apparel, textile. You must know that this sector is also a labor-intensive sector. It means that if this industry is impacted, then it can lead to huge job losses in India. Shrimp export, organic chemicals, machinery, mechanical appliances. So industry operating around these products are impacted. Now, what are the changes that government want to bring in export promotion mission? Obviously, government want to improve the accessibility of credit to the MSMEs in these affected sectors. So it want to reduce the cost of credit. It want to speed up the export clearances so that these companies do not have to wait for a longer period. And it also wants to provide some export incentive. Now, in terms of export incentive, let us try to see what we mean by that. Is that government is going to come up with a credit guarantee scheme that will help the exporters which are impacted by US tariff. So this is a long-term policy to deal with the uncertain situation in international politics, where countries like United States of America are imposing tariff on India. So this is it about this news. Let us try to move on to our next news. So next news is about the inflation. Inflation. What is inflation? Inflation is the change in price of goods and services. And here this news is talking about retail inflation. So what it tells that retail inflation now is 1.55%, lowest since 2017. So it is a very important news that inflation has hit a real low. We will try to see why inflation has hit 1.55% mark. What are the reasons behind it? But before that, let us try to understand what is retail inflation and how it is different from wholesale inflation. So retail inflation is a change in prices of goods and services that consumers typically buy. So, for example, most of the goods and services that we buy for our household. So our household are impacted by the retail inflation. What is wholesale? Wholesale is price change at the producer level or manufacturer level, even before the good has reached customer. Right? So you understand the difference. This is at producer or manufacturer level, and this is at consumer level. Consumer price index. So one more type of inflation that is mentioned in this article, and that is called core inflation. What is core inflation? Inflation rate excluding food and fuel. Why? Because food and fuel are most volatile. Their prices can change very, very quickly. So if we exclude food and fuel, we get core inflation. So these three definitions are important from your prelims perspective. Now let us try to see the reasons behind 1.55% retail inflation. So the first reason is that food prices are low. So vegetable prices are down, pulses prices are down. So food is an important item in the consumer basket. Now this is helped by the good monsoon, and because there is good monsoon, there is a strong kharif sowing, and agriculture produce is also coming good, and the core inflation is currently at 4.1%, which should ideally be around 4%, right? So these are the key points. These are the reasons why the inflation is low. Now let us move on to our next news. So next news is about space. It is a very important news because there is something that has happened for the first time in India. First time in India, a private group of companies will build, design, then build, and then operate Earth observation satellites. So these Earth observation satellite would be 100% indigenous. A very important news. Now let us try to see. So this is a consortium, Pixel Space India. It has 3 companies which will design, build, and operate India's first fully indigenous commercial Earth observation satellite, constellation. What is the meaning of constellation? Means group of 12 Earth observation satellite. How? Under PPP model. This project will be completed. What is the agency that is responsible? InSpace. So InSpace is an autonomous agency in the Department of Space. It was created in 2020. Important for your prelims examination. It enable and facilitate participation of private players in the space. So please remember this. It is important for your prelims examination. Now these commercial satellites, that Earth observation satellite, what is their function? Obviously, Earth observation satellite primary function is to observe Earth. Right? Observe Earth. So it will do climate change monitoring, agriculture, urban planning. It will also give global services. And there are various other services that it will provide. Now let us try to see its strategic relevance. If we are able to make our own indigenous EO constellation, then we will be able to reduce the reliance on foreign constellations. It will also ensure that the data that is going to be collected from these satellites, it is going to be India specific. Means India will have complete control over that data. It will lead to data sovereignty. So these are the strategic importance which you can mention in your mains answer. Now let us see this news. RBI prescribes 7 sutras for AI adoption in financial sector. Now what is the context here? Context is that RBI set up a committee. The mandate of committee was to come up with framework and guidelines for AI adoption in financial sector. Okay. Now, this committee has come up with this framework. It is called Framework for Responsible and ethical enablement of artificial intelligence. It is called 𝐹REEAI. Now, what is the problem? Why we are talking about AI adoption in financial sector separately? Because financial sector is a very sensitive sector. If we enable AI, then it can lead to risk also. And obviously AI will lead to innovation. So it has both risk and innovation. So we need a method which will mitigate risk and promote innovation. So RBI has come up, this committee has come up with these 7 sutras. What are these sutras? Number 1, trust is the foundation. People first, innovation over restraint, fairness and equity, accountability, understandable by design and safety, resilience and sustainability. So these are the 7 sutras for adoption of AI in financial sector. So these are 2 pillars also. One pillar is innovation and another pillar is risk. So under innovation, infrastructure, policy and capacity is there, and under risk, governance, assurance and protection is there. Now this report, the recommendation, position India's financial sector for safe and ethical AI adoption. So that is the crux of it. Now let us try to see our last news. Cabinet gives approval for 4 semiconductor plants. But before that, what is semiconductor? Semiconductor, for example, silicon is a semiconductor, germanium is a semiconductor. These are materials which have conductivity between conductor and insulator. It is called heart and brain of modern technological products, such as our mobile phone, such as refrigerator, such as an ECG machine. Everything that is, electronic has semiconductor in it. And that is why government came up with India's semiconductor mission. This mission was started in 2021 under Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. And the mandate of that mission was to build vibrant semiconductor and display ecosystem in India. This mission is crucial for our technological sovereignty, crucial for defense sector, telecom sector, electronic vehicles, electronic sector. So under India's semiconductor mission, government is starting various semiconductor plants. So 6 it has also already started. Now it has given approval for 4 more. Let us try to see. 2 are in Orissa, 1 in Punjab, Mohali, and 1 in Andhra Pradesh. Now 1 in Orissa is based on silicon carbide facility. Now this silicon carbide technology is an evolving technology which is very important for power electronics and electronic vehicle. So if we gain edge in this silicon carbide technology, it would be very helpful for India's semiconductor industry. So that is it about the news. These are the previous town hall questions and answers. So you can find it here and you can match with it. So thank you very much for joining this session. If you have any other question, you can just write down in comments.